Hello and welcome to Get Celebritized for another episode of how you can earn more so you can live more, live big, vivacious, and bold lives so you can give back more. So, earn more, live more, give more is the motto here on Get Celebritized. I'm your host, Aurea McGarry, and I love all things positive inspiration, helping other people to the top. Whether you're a brand new startup, whether you have an idea you're thinking about starting up, or maybe you're down the road, up the road, climbing the ladder of success. So you want to go even further. You got bigger dreams, bigger goals. You're in the right place because I bring on the most amazing guests and we talk all about some of the things that could stop you that have tried to stop them, but they didn't let it. Some plowed through. Others had to go around, over, under, around, repivot, recreate, start all over again, and it's all good. So today I'm bringing on an amazing woman, Amanda Yoa. She's a podcaster of Powered Hype Gals. She's going to be a television show host on my Limelight Network. We'll talk about that later on down the road, but it's going to be something about staying inspired because she certainly is so inspiring. But I love her title. She is the hype woman, and she really is. She's showing up today in all of her glitter. She says she's gone from a hot mess party express to a brand new author as of today. She's a professional speaker, like I said, podcaster. She's a business coach. She is all that and a bag of chips, like we say. So let me bring on Amanda. Hold on, here she comes.
Hi.
Hi, Amanda. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm better now that you show up with all of your sparkles. I'm just
Yes.
so impressed. I'm just going to put your website right up there. It's going to take your name off of there so we can fully see your sparkles. If y'all are listening on a podcast, you got to go to my Limelight Network and see her, or go to YouTube, Aurea McGarry, and watch the shows in person if you're a listener listening on podcast. But AmandaYoa.com, that's your website. We're going to get to that later. But welcome, Amanda. How are you today?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. It's starting to warm up. The sun's coming out and
There you go.
yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time of year.
Well, it's a really good day for you because you just told me that today your very first co-author collaboration book is launching. So talk to us about what you talked about in there, because I love that you went from being a hot mess party express to, this professional, speaker now, podcaster. And we're going to talk about that gap in between. But today you're an author. Tell us a little bit about what that book is about, because I want to celebrate with you.
Yeah. So the book is called Becoming You, and it's a multi-authored book. There's amazing women who have all shared a part of their story of how they've risen up and overcome in order to do what it is that they wanted to do in life, whether that's, coaching or, some realm of entrepreneurship, of making an impact. And I think it's really important to have a book like that, for people who are maybe, down that road of knowing that they're meant for more, but they really don't know where to start, or, just having that source of relatability that, hey, if that woman can do it and look where she's at now, that I can do it too. So it was
Amen.
something that, when I heard it, I really wanted to jump on it and share my story, in hopes to inspire and light that spark into somebody.
I
So I'm
love that. Where can we get it? Because I want a copy and you better autograph it for me.
Well, you're lucky because it's right now it's officially launched on Amazon. You can get the Kindle version. I believe it's $1.99, so it won't
Think we
not
can
too.
handle it.
Yeah, yeah. So you can get the Kindle version right now. As far as the actual book version, that should be out in a few weeks. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm so proud of you. How great is that? That was
Thank
just a nice little
you.
surprise today. Good for you. And I'm sure it's the first of many. Because I believe we're all in this conga line of life where there's always somebody ahead of us that we need to grab onto, that been through the stuff, been through the fires and come out the other end. Not that we're not going to go through more fires. It's called life. And then there's always people behind us that need us to show up and need us to do the podcasting and the interviewing and the books to help those who aren't where we are yet. So it's just this constant rotating. I call it my conga line.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think we ever arrive. We're always, hopefully always searching for more, always accomplishing more, because I believe school's never out for the pro. So with that, all right, you went from a hot mess. Talk to us about you being a hot mess so we can see how you ended up this beautiful, not hot mess now.
Oh yeah. Well, I came from not really, and my book, my chapter of my book talks a lot about this, but I'll give you guys a little sneak peek. But I started out in life not really receiving things the way that I should have received them. And it left me kind of feeling a little empty. I was a habitual people pleaser, always trying to please others, but not really knowing what was meant for me. So when I, graduated high school and got into college, I went into nursing school and I quickly realized, you know what, this isn't my jam. I always knew from the time I was a little girl, I was meant to make an impact. I remember having my little stuffed animals and having my microphone and putting on a performance for them or just speaking to them. But like I said, life got in the way and I wasn't poured into the way that, I guess I should have been poured into. So life became very tough to navigate. And I chose the easy way out, which was partying and drinking and just kind of masking my depression and anxiety. And I had my daughter in 2013. And that kind of lit a spark in me in a way that maybe would not be so relatable to some people. Because I know sometimes, when we become moms, we feel like we're so fulfilled and life is complete. But for me, it was a moment of, holy crap, I got to, like, what is for me? Like this is, I mean, believe me, I was so grateful to have that little bundle of joy, all 8 pounds, 9 ounces of her. But she ignited that spark in me that there was something more to me. Watching her grow and experience things for the first time, really being in her joy, I realized that those things within me were missing. And it was only up to me to find those things and find my way in the world where I could make an impact and feel fulfilled when I woke up every day. And then a little further down the line, I lost my father-in-law to lung cancer. And that was
Oh, I
my
lost my mom to lung cancer. I'm sorry.
yeah, thank you. And just watching that experience, it raised a flag for me that tomorrow's never promised.
Mm-mm.
And it was time to get up and do something for myself, knowing that nobody was going to help me but me, or nobody could really change me from me. I could have my sources of inspiration, I could observe, but in order to implement, that was an action I needed to take. And that really propelled me forward and allowed me to uncover a lot of things within myself that were always there. Knowing who we're truly meant to be, I feel is something that is just you're born with it. And you have those life experiences that are kind of packed on that kind of muffle that roar within you. So I unmuffled the roar, I guess you could say, and really stepped into my purpose and who I wanted to be and how I wanted to make an impact. And long story short, here I am doing what I love to do. And
And what is it
it
that you're
lights me
doing
up.
now? What, like,
So
you're
I'm a
doing some really cool
speaker.
things.
Yeah, I'm a speaker. I'm a podcaster. I have my podcast, and right now it's Empowered Hype House. Soon to change, so stay tuned. Make sure you
Mhm.
follow me. Just really just sharing my experience, sharing it with
Out there.
authenticity, with relatability, just
Mhm.
to show people. Because I think a lot of times when people are looking to make that leap for themselves, to do something more, they right away get bogged down with the doubt and I can't now,
Yeah.
but I try to, show myself, hey, I'm just a girl from Philly. If I can do it, you can do it too. There's a flame in all of us that is ready to be ignited. So we
I
can step forth and do what we want to do.
I agree they can do it as long like I'm all again about that conga line. Can't do it alone because
Yes.
sit around at home. I believe we were created to be with each other, to inspire each other, to hang on to other people. I don't think we're meant to do, accomplish, no one man show, one woman show. And I'm going to mention two things right now because I want to go back when you were talking about your daughter. I have never heard anybody say what you just said. I want to make sure everybody heard it and just ask a little something about it because you said you looked at your daughter growing, experiencing joy, and you looked at that baby and you wanted to experience that joy too. Nobody's ever said that to me. Nobody's ever, I don't think I've ever heard that when we're talking about having our babies, we're watching them grow and how happy they are, or with whether it's, and you said you wanted it for yourself. And I know with moms, we want to live our legacy. Usually it's later on. It's like after, middle school, high school, we realize, I really need to, we come to that aha realization later on, when we poured into them for several years. It's like, oh, it's my turn now. I want to do things too. But I've never had anybody say they looked into their baby's eyes and wanted to feel that joy too. I just thought that was so profound that was an aha moment. And I just felt that when you said that we should all want to look to have that childlike glow again. And you went all the way down to babyhood. It's not like just kids playing the playground. It's like brand new born, and the life is your oyster. And you saw that spark. And it's like, immediately, not 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, it's like, right now, I want that spark too. My baby's got it. I want it. What do I need to do? So hats off to you. I want everybody to kind of really resonate with that because that was cool.
Thank
And
you.
now you're saying you're the hype woman. What is the hype? What is hype? How do you define what hype is?
So for me, hype is always, and I guess this just brings in like, where I'm from, being from Philly in a very urban background, when we always say hype, like I'm going to hype you up, like really instilling that confidence, instilling that, that fire, lighting that fire underneath you. And with that is, for me, is sharing my experiences, sharing my wisdom from my experiences, and using them as lessons for people to take with them to implement into their own lives so that they can make those shifts. Because a lot of times, people like to live life through the eyes of things happening to them, when in reality, things are happening for you. No matter how dark those days may be, where we have things that happen to us. And believe me, there's, it's a two-sided coin. You're very, very much allowed to stay in that state of, this happened to me. This is a real
Right.
thing and this happened to me. But
Process it.
yeah, like in order to move forward, you need to make that switch. You need to make that choice to say, okay, I felt the feels. Now it's time to move forward. What is here for me? And that's what I do. I use my experiences to hype people up to realize, hey, like your experiences are your experiences. But if you want to rise up, if you want to make a difference, if you know that you are meant for more, you need to do the work to look within yourself and pull those wisdoms out and shine like you are meant to shine in this world.
Absolutely. So where's your biggest dream? What? Because I love helping women achieve their wildest dreams. So you're on the road now, and you're still early on, which is so cool.
Yeah.
Your first book today. There's going to be many more. You're podcasting. You're about to do the television show and a little rebranding on your podcasting. So I see your wheels spinning in there. A lot more of Amanda coming up for sure. But what is your wildest dream? Like, where do you see yourself a few years from now?
Oh gosh.
No holds barred.
So here it is. My wildest dream is to eventually have my own talk show, my own radio show.
Well, that's
Um,
happening now. Dream bigger.
yes, yes, true. I do want to travel to speak, but specifically with the speaking, just the way that when we're received, I think a lot of times when people go to a speaking event, no matter how dynamic the speaker is, it can get a little boring, listening
What are
to
you
somebody
saying?
speak.
I don't think I'm bored. Wait a minute.
But even the best of
You
the
get it?
best,
Sure.
So I remember growing up and seeing certain people like adding that humor. I'm a very not to toot my own horn, but I like bringing humor in what it is that I do. I like being entertained. I want it to be a whole huge experience to where you're really bringing home and remembering through those tactile moments, bringing home those lessons and truly making an impact through the entire package of all the senses. So that is my ultimate goal, is to bring a brand new experience with speaking and hosting those events for people to come and watch and listen and hear, and who knows, maybe even taste, smell. Maybe I'll have cookies or something to give out. Who knows? But just making
Whatever
it
you
a whole
want.
experience. Yeah.
It's your show. Do what you
Yeah.
want. Well, you're definitely on your way because you are such a brave soul. And you and I, we've met. We've only been on Clubhouse, hear each other talking for months and months and months, and now we're seeing each other on Zoom. And you're already chiming in to the Limelight Network to have your own TV show, which will be a podcast as well. So you're not. Maybe you feel the fear and do it anyway. Give us some tips on. You find these new adventures, these new opportunities, and you're the type, kind of like what I am. We jump into the right ones. We jump in. Tell us what that jumping in strategy is for you, because we know there's a lot of things we shouldn't do that are offered to us. And that those things we think this is right. Give us some wisdom on when you know it's right for you to jump in, like you're doing now in this brand new launching of a new network. You're going to be one of the charter, TV shows with a new TV show.
Yeah.
So exciting.
So, I think for me, I've kind of constructed these core values that I have for myself in any decision making that I make. One thing is I use my gut. I listen to my gut. I listen to what she has to say. But then I also use my bold core values, which is really believing anything is possible, taking accountability for what I want in life, and bringing that wow factor in everything that I do. And that, for me, that really brings that authenticity, really bringing me to the table, looking at what's out there and saying, okay, how can I stay out of the box? How can I bring something new and dynamic to the table that nobody's ever seen? And that's just by being me. There's really no intricate process. It's just bringing your uniqueness to the table, knowing that nobody out there can make an impact the way that you can.
Amen.
And there's somebody out there waiting for you, waiting for your message and the way that you bring it. And then the L, the leadership inspires leader, being the first, whether that's in your family, your group of friends,
Lead
stepping
the way.
in, being the first in that line to do the thing, and knowing that, like you were saying, that conga line, sometimes when you're on that journey of finding what it is for you, you need to almost all of the time look ahead, look at that person who's 3 and 5 steps ahead, and look to them for, advice, and really invest in yourself. And then, the D for me of the bold is having the drive to thrive. Consistency is key, knowing that even on those days of rest, you're still being consistent in what you do because your body needs rest, right? And just remembering your goal and your vision and never giving up, and knowing that that's worth doing the work for. And you're able to make it happen just by being you and bringing all that to the table. So that is my bold core value. And I always bring that to the table, no matter
Oh,
what I'm doing, no matter what decision I'm making in life and in my
I love it.
business. Yeah.
Now, have you ever considered, as I'm listening to you speak, have you ever considered, because I know you like new ideas, you're bold, you're out there, you're hyped, you're ready for new adventures, and I see you're going to experience a lot of life. You got a lot more life to experience. I love that you're new in this whole new journey. So much more that's going to happen to you. Do you see yourself, because I heard a little something there, of you being a TEDx speaker?
I thought about it. I
Yeah.
have.
I have
Yes.
a feeling you're going to have a lot of new ideas, because that's what they want. TEDx is about spreading and sharing of ideas. And I really see it. You're going to have some if you don't already, because
Yeah.
you're just full of like the new ways of thinking about things. And you're not there yet. I know it's not going to like start coming, but I really see on TEDx stage. I want to just put that in your, goal thing. You will be a TEDx speaker.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've definitely thought about that. It's definitely a back burner goal of mine for sure.
Okay.
But the most important thing I think for me right now is just building that community,
Mhm.
really focusing on who it is that I'm making an impact, and just attracting them in through authenticity, relatability, and just making that community, knowing that, not just me, but the other women in my community, we're all there to support one another, to help one another to rise up and achieve what it is that we want to achieve. So
Mm.
that's something that I'm really, really passionate about right now. And it's, I've been using my podcast to do that, my Facebook page, my Instagram, all the social outlets, that we use in order to make that possible.
So, what drives Amanda? Is it the love for women in business? Is it the love for success in the entrepreneur world? What is driving you? Because you're doing all of this. And like I say, you're still in the beginning of your journey. So, what's driving you?
Well, there's a couple of things. Bringing it back to my child, I had mentioned that she ignited that spark within me to reach for more, to realize that there was more to my story through observing her and the things that she was doing. Because I got to a point where it was very exhausting to give as a mother, and I realized that's because I wasn't giving to myself.
Mm.
So and then I thought about it and I said, I'm doing a huge disservice to my child and later down the road children, by not achieving what it is that I want to do in life, by not going for what it is that I want to do in life, and not being who it is that I truly want to be in life. Because I truly believe, and I can say this because I remember this as a child, that it's not so much what children are told that they listen to and do, it's what they see. It's kind of like, do as I do and not as I say. Children are watching what we do. They're
Yeah.
watching us every single day. So for me not to go for what it is that I truly wanted in life, to feel fulfilled, to love myself, to become that woman of confidence and worth, I was doing my daughter a huge disservice, especially as a woman in this world. I was doing her a huge disservice by not going for that. So she was my number one drive. And then, I truly believe that there are past versions of me who were at their day one of realizing, hey, you know what, this way of living just isn't working for me anymore. This is not the vibe. So if I can share my story and share my truths and my wisdoms and really get vulnerable and real and relatable, then that's a job well done in my book. If I can ignite that spark in somebody else to start doing that work for themselves and step into who they want to be and what they want to do, then A plus.
I love that. I love very good answer. That was very good. You know
Thank you.
exactly what's driving you. So we know you're gonna get on that highway and stay on that highway and never park that car. And you said something that I always say, that children do what we do, not what we say.
Mm.
We can tell them all day long, have a happy marriage, to be married for love, or yeah, and if you're not, and it's just you're saying one thing but living a different life in whatever it is. It's just so they're gonna do what you do.
Yeah.
So good for you, and it's the old saying, happy wife, happy life. Well, happy mom, happy life. Mom has to be happy for the children, and especially the girls, to see that, oh, I can be happy too.
Yeah.
They see you just a slave to life, or a slave to, whatever it is, 9 to 5 or staying home, whatever, and you're not happy doing it. It's more apt that they're going to say, oh, that's what life's all about. A mom did it.
Yep.
So good for you, paving the way. And I like to do that too. It's what they do. They do what we do. So keep on trucking with that. All right. You said something else when we were talking, that you went from again, Hot Mess Party Express, that's going to be our theme today, to where you are now. And I asked you before we got on the air, I said, what is the one thing that started that road from the hot mess to on the road to success? And you said, and I'm going to let you say it.
What did I say?
I'll help you. You said the first
a lot of things.
I know you did. You said the first thing you did is you hired a coach.
Oh, yes.
Business strategist, because you needed somebody to enlighten the way. So talk to me about that first business coach that helped you go to the first level.
Oh gosh, yes. Well, like the first step is everything that I talked about, realizing that I needed to change. But then an important thing, and I mentioned this in, my bold core values, that leadership that inspires other leaders in the making, knowing that there's somebody that's 3 or 5 steps ahead of you, that's already in the game, already doing the thing, already made the transformations. And I found myself kind of like in a state of observing those people, but not really implementing the things into my life. And I realized, well, okay, I was building that foundation, because it is a process to change your life. It can be very, there's a lot of emotions that come with that. But I said, okay, we got to start. Let's get it going, Amanda. Let's get the wheels rolling. So I said, I have to invest in me because I'm worth it. And that's a big thing. I think a realization that, in order to scale in any business, and no matter what you're doing, you have to be willing to invest in yourself in some way, shape, or form.
Exactly.
Because that's the only way that you're going to gain those juicy insights from those people who are 3 or 5 or 7, 10 steps ahead of you. And then you can implement them into what you're doing, right? Because like I said, we all make our impact in our own unique way. We're not a carbon copy of someone else out there. And sometimes I see coaches who create these little mini me's and they're not successful in what they're doing because they're not bringing them to the table. Right. So that's a big thing for me, linking up with a coach who allows you to express who you are, your authenticity, bring you to the table, but they give those insights. And I've linked up with some of the best women and men that have really helped me to reach those heights with myself, really stepping into my confidence, my worth, knowing my mission, being, vulnerable enough to share my story, because, vulnerability is just another word for strength. And being able to have that strength, share your story, knowing that, we have some embarrassing, I could sit here and tell you some embarrassing moments about myself, but I'm willing to share them. I'm willing to share them, because I know that that's what's relatable and that's what's going to make an impact. So, hunkering down with those people that are going to allow me to draw those empowering parts of myself out of me in order to make an impact is so important. So I always say, invest in yourself in any way, shape, or form. And I continue to do so. It's a never ending process because we're always scaling.
But one thing is important too that you mentioned too. We got to take action. We can't just be a
Yeah.
proverbial student and never take the action that we're being taught. But not getting a coach. I mean, this entrepreneur world, everybody wants to be. Well, a lot of people want to be an entrepreneur, be their own boss. But imagine wanting to become a doctor or a realtor or a massage therapist or an esthetician and saying, I'm going to skip school. I'm just going to go right in and learn on the job.
Yeah.
That would be against the law. You can't go be a doctor, a surgeon, a veterinarian, an esthetician, a chiropractor, massage therapist, esthetician, any of those things without a license to do it. And just because of an entrepreneur world, we're able to just, open up shop. And there's a lot of people out there that shouldn't be opened up shop. And we don't have to have a license in a specific industry or a specific degree or a specific award. That it's kind of like it's free for all. So it's really important when you can set yourself apart and saying, I've been coached by, trained by, or I've learned it, I've invested, because who are we to teach others if we haven't been taught ourselves? Who are we to charge for a course when we're not paying for a course? That's the next step up. Again, like our children, do what we do. Instead of saying, here, you pay me, but I'm never going to pay anybody. I'm not going to learn. I'm just going to, wing it. Then that only lasts for so long because you'll get found out pretty quick.
Absolutely.
That there's a dead end here. So I like that you said that, because strategy is important. CPAs are important. Having a good business plan, all those things that aren't the fun, fancy, glitzy things to do have to be done if you want to be a business that makes money.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're going to be a hobby, which is fine if that's what you want, but don't think it's going to be, $1 million, billion company if you don't have a business plan in place or a CPA or to have a, P&L, sheet, any of that. So what's coming up next before I ask you my ending question? What is next? Like right now, what are you most excited about next in your journey?
Well, I'm really excited for my book that just launched. I'll be promoting that for the next month, I believe. Joining the Limelight Network, just knowing you has been such an honor, Aurea, and just watching what you do. I'm a huge observer, and you bring it, and just you are yourself and everything that you do. You're so knowledgeable, and it shows. And that's I've seen myself grow so much by really taking that time to watch people and observe and say, okay, this person's the real deal and you're the real deal. And I congratulate you for having the Limelight Network. And I'm so honored to be, a founding member of the network. So that's my main focus, building this podcast, building the TV show, and just rolling from there and seeing where it goes and enjoying it along the way, right? Like you have to be in your joy and you have to be happy in what you're doing, or you're not going to show up 100% in what you do. So
yeah, you love what you do. You never work another day in your life.
yes.
Although we still do work. I'm trying to figure out that old saying. But anyway, you love what you do. So it doesn't make it's not treacherous.
Very true. Will I ever be happy doing laundry? I don't know, but someone's got to do it.
Exactly. Well, you love your job, what you're doing. It's so much fun because we work long hours, but it's so much fun. Like I love doing this, of course. And I'm really excited about the Limelight Network that's going to be launching the first week of May 2023. So if you're listening to this or watching, go to my Instagram, Aurea McGarry Productions. My Linktree associate tab is there, and there's a place to email me if you're interested in potentially putting an application for your very own television show. And Amanda, you're one of our charter ones. You came in with flying colors. So excited about what you're doing. It's going to be such a great fit. We're going to have fun together. All of the TV network hosts, you're going to become like family. It's going to be fun. We are going to share great edutainment in this world. So let me know. Hook up to me if you want to, know more about it, because Amanda is going and she's going fast. So we'll do this again and make sure everybody knows about it. With that, as we're talking about going forward, let's move forward even further, Amanda. How do you want to be remembered? My television show that won the Emmy and all the awards was called Live Your Legacy TV. My summits that I did 12 of, teaching entrepreneurs and nonprofits how to come together, businesses making more so they can give more to the nonprofits, was all live your legacy now, especially from moms, to live on purpose. Just like when you saw your little girl's face when she was just a baby, you said, I want that too. Most women, we wait till way down the future. It's like, how do I want to be remembered? And not just wife, mother, which is all important, like, important teacher, nurse, all that good stuff. But tell us how you want to be remembered. What impact do you want to make? And your wildest dreams. I mean, like, sky's the limit. This is you. This is how you want us to remember you.
Well, I want to be remembered for that woman who found what was meant for her and
Mhm.
was done sacrificing her happiness and,
Boy.
to live out other people's expectations of what she thought she should be. And she was fearless in sharing her story, knowing that with her story, it would inspire others to do the same for themselves. Because not everything that we learn in school and we're told by our parents, I feel like a lot of us end up at the end of our educational road still kind of lost as to what it is that we want to do. And that's because maybe we're meant for something more. Maybe we're
Mm.
meant to make an impact in a way that schools don't really teach.
Yeah.
And,
A lot of schools don't teach.
yeah. And that's through, sharing your experience, making an impact, making a change in somebody else, inspiring, empowering other people to do what it is that is meant for them. And like I said, if I can instill that in somebody, that person that wakes up every day hearing that quiet whisper telling them that they're meant for more, I'm here to turn that quiet whisper into a loud roar of, yes, I'm going to do what is meant for me. I'm going to bring all of me to the table, and I'm ready for it. I'm ready to step in and make an impact. And
And
that is the legacy that I would like to
I
leave.
love that because that is just brings us full circle to Amanda Yoa, the hype woman. So the hype woman to live your loudest, best life. Amanda, thank you so much for sharing your authentic self with us and your hopes and dreams and goals. I hope everybody will follow you. Amanda Yoa, which is YOA.com. Everything is there. She's on social media, going to be having more TV shows, podcasts right now currently is Empower Hype Gals, but look her up under her name because she's going to be doing a lot of other things and you want to stay in touch with her. Last words, Amanda, what say you? And I loved your legacy was perfect, but got a last closing word before we close up the show.
Last closing word is be bold in all that you do. Break those glass
Perfect.
ceilings.
Absolutely. Be bold. Love your acronym. All right. Be bold. Y'all go out there. And I hope you have learned a little something more today to help you earn more so you can live more, so you can give more and be bold, like Amanda Yoa says. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you next time on Get Celebritized. Bye, Amanda. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.